تعيش صورتها هشمت وصورتها كسرت
Hey,
أمام
y'all.
استمرار ضربات الصواريخ التي تطلق من غزة، وهذا
We
يعني
are live
يعكس
as the
أنه
sun comes
حماس
up
والفصائل
and
المسلحة
has
في غزة
started shining in
هي من
Israel.
تحرك مفاعيل المشهد
Morning has
سواء على
come.
الصعيد العسكري والميداني أو حتى ربما على الصعيد
Overnight, there has been a
السياسي
lot of
والدبلوماسي. الاتصالات
rumor and talk
يعني
and
قائمة حتى اللحظة. هناك
let's
تقارب
just say
دولي
a really pretty
يعني
serious escalation.
وقف إطلاق
We were
النار.
talking about this.
هذه
Hey, what's up, Storm
المسألة حتى
Reviews? Good to
اللحظة
see
لم
you.
يكون
We
هناك
were talking about
اختراق يعني
this
كبير.
just the other day,
و
or earlier today too,
بالتالي
about
هذه
the
المعادلة اليوم
Iron Dome.
فشلت
That is
إسرائيل
a
في فرضها على
defense
قطاع غزة،
system
وستفشل
in
لأنه
Israel that
الاحتلال الإسرائيلي
has the
معظم في
ability
تنفيذ
to head off missiles
سيطرته
and
على مدينة
rockets
القدس
that are
المحتلة.
launched
يعني
into
سرحبيل
Israel by
أشكرك
groups
شكرا
like
جزيلا
Hamas.
سيد
Um,
سرحبيل
you
الغريب
know,
المحلل
they've been
السياسي كنت
launching
معنا من قطاع
missiles and
غزة
rockets and mortars
أيضا
and
نتابع
bottles
في
and rocks
الصورة
and,
وقد
all
وصلت
sorts of stuff into
سيارة
Israel for
الإسعاف ربما
years.
هي محملة
Um,
بالمصابين جراء
but they've got this
القصف
pretty elaborate
الإسرائيلي
defense system
الذي
that
تابعناه قبل
there's been
قليل
some talk
على
overnight that
قطاع غزة. لا
there's
تزال
been some
التغطية
bragging, I should
مستمرة عبر
say,
شاشة
of
الغد
someone on
ومتابعة
the, who was it in the
لتطورات
Palestinian
الأحداث لحظة بلحظة
side? It was
في
somebody
قطاع
that
غزة
bragged
في الضفة
about
الغربية في
having
القدس
figured out
المحتلة في المدن والبلدات
something,
في
some
الداخل.
way around
الإحصاءات
this
الأحدث
Iron
تشير إلى
Dome
ارتفاع عدد
defense
الشهداء في
system.
القطاع إلى
Bragged about
109
sending
شهداء
thousands of
بينهم
rockets into Israel
28
over a
طفلا
single
و15
period.
سيدة جراء القصف
Yeah,
الإسرائيلي.
over, you
هذه
heard me right,
الأرقام التي
1,000
أعلنتها
plus
وزارة
rockets.
الصحة الفلسطينية ليست
We did
أرقاما
see some of
نهائية،
those rockets
خاصة مع
fall,
استمرار
but the
القصف
majority of
الإسرائيلي
them
وتجاوز عدد
were
المصابين 600
blown
مصاب،
up in the
بينهم
sky,
إصابات
essentially. Like, the
خطيرة
goal of this
وحالات
particular
حرجة.
defense
وبينما
system is to
يواصل
blow these
جيش
rockets and
الاحتلال
these missiles
غاراته
up in the
وقصفه
air
المدفعي على
so that
مناطق
when they fall to
متفرقة
the ground, the
بشمال
pieces
ووسط
that do
وجنوب قطاع
fall
غزة. تواصل
aren't
الفصائل
incendiary
الفلسطينية
in any
الرد
kind of way.
بقصف
Okay.
مدن وبلدات
That's,
الداخل
the
بعشرات
whole, they
الصواريخ.
ultimately
تابعنا
at the
أيضا
end of the
مسيرات
day,
منددة بالعدوان
their
الإسرائيلي على
goal.
قطاع
So
غزة في أنحاء متفرقة في
overnight,
الضفة
and there's been like,
الغربية.
I don't
بعض
know if y'all have
هذه
noticed the
المسيرات
uptick of live
تحولت
streams
لمواجهات بين الشبان
that have been going
الفلسطينيين
on, but
وقوات الاحتلال
they have got so
الإسرائيلي.
many live
يواصل
streams on
معكم
YouTube
هذه
right
التغطية
now
الحية والمباشرة
where
عبر شاشة
you can
الغد.
essentially, I mean, they're
زميل
just
صلاح
all over the
الوحيد
cities,
إليك
various
صلاح.
cities. There's so many of them. Now, I also heard right after I ended the last live with you guys, I heard that, hold on just a second. Look at all these live streams. This isn't crazy. But I had heard that there were people, feet on the ground. And I heard that the Israeli army was somehow involved in this particular escalation assignment, I guess you could call it. Really, I mean, we see rooters doing like live streams now. The sun is starting to come up, but we can go back a few hours and just like listening to the stream, you could hear the missiles and the rockets. It's crazy. Hold on, let's see if we can find a part. I believe when you enable the DVR feature on YouTube, you allow people to be able to rewind back your stream, And I must be a real geek sitting up here talking to y'all about this type of shit on a Thursday night. But let's see here. Because there was one point, like you could see all the missiles flying in the air. So hold on a sec. Let me see if I can find something here. Because this goes back, it looks like 12 hours. But they always strike at night, usually middle of the day. And the sirens were going off. Hold Yeah, you hear it? Hold on. I hear sirens going off. Or is that Arab music? I swear I heard the term Allah Akbar so much. Yeah, you can hear it. You can hear the bombing starting. You hear it? And then they're playing that Arab music. And it seems to almost coincide. Spooky, man. Yeah, it's spooky, right? Wow. Some spooky shit. I'm going forward here, y'all. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Every once in a while, I see like a flat, a light, a flash of light go across. I don't know if it's some kind of radar or what, but did you guys ever see the video of the UFO that literally came down right above the Dome of the Rock? It was absolutely amazing. And they've pretty much confirmed that UFOs are real. Our military has now created a space force. I think I want to go back and find that video, but let me see here. If I find anything. Because I somehow caught it. It was a couple of hours ago, though. Sirens were going off, and I'm not going to sit here and watch no 12-hour stream of nothing. But y'all are more than happy to go through it yourself if you would like. But yeah, there's an uptick in live streams I noticed that are going on. But let's see if we can find that video. It was in Jerusalem. Jerusalem UFO. It was so crazy. I think it was maybe 5 years ago or so, but that particular night, um, there was, I believe 3. There was a couple of them, and it was a long time
There's a new
ago.
video this morning that some
Yeah,
say
this
may
is
be
it.
proof we're not alone in the universe. A
It's about 10 years
UFO in the
ago.
form of a bright light is seen descending over the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem. The video is said to be taken over the weekend. Then suddenly the light shoots up into the sky. There you see it. Another video from a
See
different
that?
angle appears to show the light doing the same thing.
You heard
Those
it.
clips have gone
Another
viral now.
video. So there's multiple videos of this event happening. And that's what makes it really cool. And you know that it's not fake or anything. Multiple video angles caught this particular event, and yes, it was 10 years ago. To me, when I see this, I kind of think like maybe it was an angel or something, because it came straight down to the Dome of the Rock. And if you know what the Dome of the Rock is, then you know how important that is. I mean, the Dome of the Rock, that's like the most holiest site in the world. Uh, Amazing.
We're not alone in the universe. A UFO in the form of a bright light is seen descending over the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem. The video is said to be taken over the weekend. Then suddenly the light shoots up into the sky. There you see it. Another video from a different angle appears to show the light doing the same thing. Those clips have gone viral now.
I'd like to think it was an angel. I would. I want to see if I can find some like the raw footage of that. I bet if I do, hold on, what's this? I'm not CBS. I bet if I do a term like Dome of the Rock in my search, maybe that will bring me closer to what I want to see. But yeah, um, the Dome of the Rock is, fought by all Christianity, Jewish, the Jewish, and uh, Muslim. Like they all, there's been wars that have been fought to try to have control with, in regards to to the Dome of the Rock. So there were 4 videos, it looks like, total, um, that showed this really incredible UFO experience. But let's see here. It looks like they slowed it down. Hold on, because I'm very interested in that. Video slowed down to 1 second per frame, so you could stop video and analyze. It starts just before the light flashes. Okay. It's like God wanted us to see. So this is the one of the videos that were caught slowed down. And you heard me right. There again was more than one video of this incident that happened. So did they fake 4 tapes? Nah. Look at that. Amazing, man. I mean, it even changes the light down at the bottom when it went down. It illuminates underneath as it lowered itself. It's lighting everything up. I know this may be a crazy thought, but sometimes some of crazy stuff that I think of is maybe, an angel was bringing something from heaven or something and dropped it off on earth. And the flash of light is so bright. There is 2 bright flashes that seem to come out from it. And that is blinding right there. It's blinding the entire area there. So, yeah, look how it lights everything up underneath. That's wild, man. This can't even be explained. And this was, again, filmed on multiple cameras. I wonder what the significance of this could have meant, being the fact, again, it is the Dome of the Rock. And um, it's so blatant, right? This unseen object, whatever it is, decided to come down to the most holiest place in the world. It's just very amazing to me, y'all. Mm, and it even shoots up so fast because they slowed the camera down to 1 frame per second. So it's going pretty fast back up, being the fact the object blurs out in 1 frame per second. So it's pretty amazing. Um, Yeah, I don't know. I be getting into to some crazy stuff, man. Like I end up down a rabbit hole. And we were just talking about the Wailing Wall. Um, and that's where that area is as well. See, a landing pad. So some people have asked, was the Temple Mount a landing pad for UFOs in the past? And it is kind of interesting how when it came down, it shimmered out that bright light a couple of times where you would not have been able to see in front of you. So if it was like some weird scenario like that where it comes down and lands, but it's meant for us not to see it after the fact. It's just very crazy, man. Hold on. New Jerusalem UFO, 4 views of the dome. Okay, hold up. Let's check this out. 4. So this is all 4 of the videos that were taken that day. Check it. Hold up. And they've got them all 4 playing at one time. So look, see, that's the thing I remember. I remember that this thing hovered in the sky for the longest time too, before it even came down. And you can tell by looking at that, if you was to see that in the sky, you know it's not the moon, you know it's not any star, because stars don't come that close, right? We're not that close. I honestly think that um, a lot of those stars that we see are other planets and stuff like that. I believe they can illuminate light just like a star even. But this thing hovered in the air for a really long time, and it's almost like it's designed or did that in an effort to try to get eyes on it so people would see it, like it wanted to be seen, right? Did God want us to see this? Or is there any prophecy being fulfilled with this? Does it have anything to do with the possibility of prophecy being fulfilled at some time? I know that there's going to be some witnesses that are going to come. That hasn't happened yet, but it's just something I noticed. I just wanted to put that out there. But look at it; it's just hovering in the sky. And it was just sitting there. What if it was just an angel, guys? Look, see, it came down real slow.
I think tonight would be lovely, but is that a UFO? Amazing. Holy shit. Oh,
This cool. 4 different
you can almost
cameras.
hardly look at
the light is so bright.
We've seen them in Mississippi like this, but never like
That is crazy. Look at this.
Whoa! Whoa!
Amazing video, right?
I think
Hold on, let's go back because it's just the whole thing is insane. And again, this is probably one of the most remembered videos I know that or incident, right? That I don't think it's talked enough about. Like they could do a whole documentary on this and I would watch it. How it just hovered there for quite a while and then it comes down so slow. Right above Dome, Temple Mount. King David, Solomon's Temple. Look at this.
I think tonight would be lovely, but is that a UFO? Amazing. Holy shit.
Actually, there appears to be 1, 2, 3, 5 different videos.
You can almost hardly look at. We've seen them in Mississippi like this, but never like.
Look how it illuminates everything underneath. That is amazing.
Whoa! Whoa!
Tell me that ain't something that's just cannot be explained.
אתה רואה?
אני רואה מה זה.
Mm.
תגיד, שתים יותר מדי? לא, לא.
לא, לא, כולנו רואים את זה.
מה זה? 5 עיניים.
שיו!
Other world.
יואו! רוד, בלם. מה
מה
זה?
זה, אמא?
Hmm. Yeah, it's real. We know it's real. And I did this live to come on here and talk about, this these ongoing missiles and all this crazy stuff that's going on in Israel right now. So let's see here. CNN. I believe honestly that not only CNN but other news agencies out of the United States, you'll notice that they tend to report carefully when it comes to Israel and the Palestine and the Gaza Strip. Like they try, let's just put it like this. I mean, Israel is an ally of the United States of America and a very beloved ally at that. It's amazing what Israel has managed to achieve since becoming a country again after they were all dispersed for over 2,000 years. And they come back to their homeland that was promised to them by God. That's the promise that he made to Abraham. And it's just so amazing to me. Anyway, I ain't even going to stay on here that much longer, y'all. About to get up off of here. But I think some of the talk about ground troops and people on the ground invading the Gaza Strip, that what has been rumor that's been going around, that it's the actual Israeli army putting feet on the ground in the Gaza Strip, which they tend to, I mean, that's considered a move of war, right? But Israel came back and says but this was their statement, okay? There are currently no IDF ground troops inside the Gaza Strip. Note how the statement is worded. There are currently no IDF ground troops inside the Gaza Strip. A CNN producer inside Gaza reported heavy incoming artillery fire from Israeli forces, as well as dozens of airstrikes. United Nations officials inside Gaza said dozens of people had fled their homes in the north and east of the enclave to seek refuge in schools. Do you all know what the word enclave means? Just take the time to look that up one day. Enclave, Enclave, enclave. Residents in the Israeli town of Ashkelon were fleeing to their bomb shelters again as sirens wailed, warning of a fresh barrage of rockets. Earlier in the day, Israel's defense minister Benny Gantz warned that Israel has many, many more targets and no time limit on its military operations against Gaza as the Israeli military and Palestinian militants continued to exchange deadly airstrikes and rocket bombardments. The other interesting thing about Israel is everyone serves in the IDF. Everyone, men and women alike. Every single person has to serve. It's mandated. It's required to be an Israeli citizen. If you're born over there, it doesn't matter. You are required to serve. Pretty much as soon as you get out of it's those late teenage years when here in America we'd be graduating high school and that sort of a thing. But that is one thing that's very interesting, and believe me, that is not that particular policy or whatever is Israelis are not mad about that at all. I mean, they do that for country, but they're, like I said earlier, I mean, these militants have been bragging about having sent thousands of rockets into Israel just at one time. Um, definitely keep your ears and your eyes, peeled for any kind of talk about that Iron Dome. Hey, what's up? Chill out. Hey, Gloria. I ain't even looking at the damn chat. Hey, Gypsy Heart. How are y'all? Um, it kind of reminds me of the Purge. Israel would wipe out the Gaza Strip if they wanted to. Telling you. Um, definitely keep your eyes peeled on talk about that Iron Dome because, for them to brag, Hamas, for them to be bragging about having, found a chink in the armor or whatever, it's absolutely could be just talk too. And that's one of the other things. It's like, thank God those algorithms that are used to control this defense system can be updated. So we're not dealing with a situation where, the code that's put in to essentially have the radar to detect these weapons and these rockets and these missiles and, you know, all that sort of a thing. It's just computer code. Algorithms it's just computer code. That's it. So it can be updated. Shit. But they do that on purpose. Like these people purposely. Hey Shannon, it's good to see you. I was just thinking about you earlier. I hope you're well. Um, but yeah, it could be all talk, right? It's kind of like during like many wars, you've heard the stories of the enemy um, coming on, breaking into the radio line or the airwaves or whatever to broadcast their own, threats to Americans. It happens to the Russians did it, and the Germans have done it. I'm pretty sure Americans have did it too when they've been at war. It's a way to try to antagonize the enemy. But yeah, they're saying like this could be all out war if this continues, and definitely keep your eyes peeled to that part of the world. So I'm out of here, y'all. I'll be in the bushes somewhere listening to somebody, but I just wanted to go live real quick and just talk about that. It's very interesting stuff. It's horrible though at the same time. Until next time, bye y'all.